Welcome to High Strangeness, where we ask questions and explore all that is strange and unexpected in our reality.
All right, this is High Strangeness, and we are having a quick episode, pulling one together with co-host Bill and I, because we can't help but to talk about what? Drones all over the place. Now, what do you think is going on across this country? We're seeing it on the news. We're seeing it being talked about in the White House. It's everywhere, man. What do you think, before we get into where you were, what do you think about this, Bill?
Well, it's crazy right now. I think the White House finally started talking about it. They weren't talking about it until the last 24 hours.
Right, exactly. They have been pretending that it was going to go away. And it's not going away, man. More and more people are talking about it. So in this episode, real quick, we're going to talk about just a few things that are going on. And we're going to also find out a little bit about Bill, because he was somewhere and you won't believe what he saw. We're going to talk about that. And then I also want to spend a few minutes at the very end here, because this is going to be a short episode, talking about what we think might be going on here. Everybody should make their own decision, do their own research. There have been more than 3,000 sightings of identified car-sized drones flying all over New Jersey, according to the FBI. Not just them, but everybody else who's looking as well. And there's more reports coming in from Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Maryland, and I'm even hearing on the West Coast and other places as well. Some of the drones have been seen nearby sensitive locations, including military installations and golf course belonging to the President of the United States. While the authorities said the drones did not pose a threat to people's safety, they said the FBI and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security are looking into this, as well as the police. First of all, how can you say something is not threatening and you don't know what it is, right? Is that just stupid? National Security Advisor at the White House has said, this was on the 12th of December, that there's no sightings going on, and that instead of anything there, it's minor things like hobbyists flying their aircraft, and there's all kinds of just different stories. They're changing it every other day. So I think it's ridiculous. What do you think about what's coming out of the White House first? Is it just stupidity?
I think they're just. I kind of wish Trump was in office right now, because he straight up would tell us what it is.
Right.
Right. I think they're full of crap. I mean, on Newsmax or News Nation last night, one of them, they had a guy talking, and I recorded and I watched it this morning, talking about that he's got proof, and people who are high-ranking officials inside the Pentagon are going to come out, rank, name, serial number, and everything within the next few days.
Yeah. Now,
this is what he said, and he's going to reveal what's really going on. And he says that a lot of it has to do with aliens.
Right.
Now, this is what was on Newsmix. He goes, we're firing at them, and we're taking their technology and using it against them right now. Well, I don't know if I buy into that or not. That's a lot. I mean, that's like an intergalactic war or something like that. But this was on Newsmax, and I'll know more in a couple of days when I see what he says going to happens. If it does, then I'm like going to my trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
If not, but I have my theories, and we'll get to those.
Yeah, we'll get to those theories. There's a lot out there, but let's start off first by talking about where you were, because a lot of times people talking on podcasts are just hearing things from other places. But the funny thing is, in the last week or two, you have been somewhere, and we've been talking, because it's our old stomping grounds, and you saw stuff, and I'll share a picture here in a minute of that. Bill, tell us where you were. Tell us what happened.
I was in New Jersey. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, but I was all over Jersey. I was in Morristown, I was in Voorhees, I was down the shore, Cape May, Wildwood. I was right outside Philadelphia, so I was everywhere. And did I see things? Yeah. Yes, I saw things. I got a couple pictures, forward than Tony. Some I knew were planes, but I also know the flight pattern for the for the Philly airport. and it does not go over where I saw things. The Philadelphia airplanes going in near Philly do not come in over where I saw things.
Yeah.
One particular thing that was just really crazy is the first day I get there and I see this big object. It was a good distance away, but it was huge. It was huge. I thought it was a bird. And I didn't know about the drones at this point.
Yeah.
And it was just cows gliding, and I thought it was like a bird. So I'm like, what the hell is this? And my wife was really tired. I'm like yelling for her to come over, and she's like, then.
Well, first of all, where were you? Right, you're not in a house.
I was on the 11th floor of a hotel room.
Right. So you're looking.
So I got good view. Yeah, and that's where I saw the drones too. So I'm just watching this thing just maneuver in big circles, small circles, just kind of come around, like if it was looking for something, you know. And then it started going out. Let me see. I'm in Cherry Hill, so it went towards Pennsauken, Merchantville, Delaware, you know, in that vicinity. And then it, so as it's going, you know, as something like how big my hand is, as it's going away, see how my hand's getting smaller and smaller?
Yeah.
But you can still see it, right? And then you lose sight of it, right? This is what happened. I was seeing how big it was, and all of a sudden, I'm like yelling, get the camera, and all of a sudden, just disappeared.
Yeah.
It just vanished.
Right. That's crazy.
I'd never seen anything like that in my life. I'm yelling and screaming. Then my wife gets up and look, where? I'm like, it vanished.
Yeah, she didn't know what you meant by that.
It disappeared. I didn't lose sight of it. It was there 1 second. It was gone the next.
Right. So, you know, the interesting...
And that was during daylight.
Oh, I didn't know it was daylight. That's even crazier.
That was during daylight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was about maybe 2 o'clock East Coast time.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that was in the evening.
No, that was daylight. That's why I'm so freaking, like, what the hell? I mean, if it was dark, okay, maybe lights went off, but, you know, no. It was day. It disappeared.
Okay. Now, it's crazy. Now, I'll put up on the screen in a minute the type of drone that some people say it is, and that's fine. But this is crazy. We're not, you know, maybe it had lights, and at night the lights go off, but not with what you're describing. What you're describing is a whole different animal. You would have... It had to disappear because you saw it with what it was in daylight.
Yeah. And then everything else I saw was nighttime.
Yeah.
But there's also other stuff that I want to touch too. Like, they recently had a meeting in New Jersey. All the mayors from every town in New Jersey just met.
Oh, wow.
Either yesterday or the day before. Everyone. Merchantville. Every little town. Pennsauken, Cherry Hill, you name it. It was all there. And half of them left in the middle of it because they got tired of being filled with a bunch of bullcrap. The people there from the State Department or Defense Department, Pentagon, whatever, were like, it's nothing. You're seeing things. You're imagining things. It's what the one mayor of Pennsville said. And he also said that well, we'll get to that in a minute on our theories. I'll hold that off for our theory.
Okay.
Because my theory was what one of my theories was before I heard what this mayor said.
Okay, here's the thing. Just for the audience, a couple things that are not are theories, but there are all kinds of theories out there right now. One of them being that they're, of course, aliens. The other one is that they're holograms, and that somehow the government, somebody has the ability to create a hologram up in the sky. I don't know how you do that. And then, of course, orbs. Now, these are not orbs. You did not see an orb. You saw something with some kind of a winged thing out there. But I will say this. I just saw a video of an orb that somebody was taping that then turned into a kind of a vessel, like a drone-looking thing, and then it turned back to an orb, and then it disappeared. So, who knows? I'm just saying these are all the crazy things that are showing up out there, and who knows? All right, let's get into real quick what we think it is. Let's start off with your wife too, because you, me, and Allison, we talked about this for a couple minutes yesterday, and she had an opinion of what she thought it was. Do you remember what that was?
I do, but I don't. I think it was something political to take away from Biden's problems in the White House on pardon his son and kind of like being dementia, whatever, trying to take their mind off of all the problems the Democrats are, just all the chaos. It's just a distraction. A distraction.
That's exactly what she called it, which happens really all the time in news cycles to do exactly what she said. She thinks that this is probably a distraction. Yeah. Could be. But still, you've seen something now that's not normal. People are seeing something, so I think there's something real out there as well. So that's one theory. Let's go into yours.
All right. So I got, one of ours is the same. Do you want to tell that one first, and then I'll tell mine?
Yeah, go ahead. Save the one that we have the same at the end, because I'll play some stuff here at the end as well. But go ahead and start with the one that's solely yours.
Okay, so I think one of my 2 to 3 is that it is the U.S. Department of Defense or the Pentagon testing state-of-the-art drones for a new type of warfare that's coming, where they can drop smaller missiles, smaller bombs, smaller chemicals, smaller everything, and they can fly those under radar from ships outside the battle zone, like in the Persian Gulf or whatnot, and save lives from the pilots and everything like that. So I think it's a new form of warfare that we're going to see when war breaks out, which I think is relatively soon.
Radar guy here. I know who is operating the drones. It's a 25-year radar operator for a major agency here. Just thought I'd let you all know what has been going on these past few weeks. The drones are part of a military drill being conducted by Space Force. Everything is on a need-to-know basis, which is why there's so much confusion. What gets me concerned and why I had to make this post is that something big is about to go down. I happen to know that there are additional full lockout drills that are scheduled to take place between now and Christmas Eve. These operations involve the full turnover of all radio, radar, and aircraft communications to the military for several hours at a time. In conjunction with that, there are also scheduled satellite launches, off the books, which have been occurring since October. They are setting up some kind of big show for the public very soon. CNN was even at our facility shooting pre-roll footage for a future story. I don't know exactly what is going on, but all I know is this. Get ready. Peace and safety to all of you and your families.
Yeah, okay, that's a great theory, one that could very well be true. I don't dislike that, but I do think the one that I'm more favored towards is the one that I heard about, the fact that, and we'll do a video here in just a minute that talks about this very thing. Now, a week or two back, I was hearing different people talk about what they thought it was, different levels of military people and everything, and I kind of pieced together what now people are saying and what you and I think is one of the possible theories, and that is that there is some kind of nuclear material that's gotten away. It is somewhere in the New York, New Jersey area, and these drones are out there doing grid formations to try to pick them up and see if they can pick up radioactivity.
Yeah, and that one is the one that I've changed and leaning more heavily towards because of a video that I have that I sent to you, and I don't know if that's the one you're playing. It's a mayor in New Jersey talking about a federal alert for the federal government that went out to all government officials, mayors, governors, and senators in the state of New Jersey.
Okay, let's dive in that for a minute. Like some of the reasons. Tell me. I'm going to tell you first some of the reasons why I really think this one's the strongest, and you tell me why you think. So, he even says it on this thing that we're about to watch, is that there was some nuclear material that turned up missing in New Jersey about 3 days before the drones started showing up everywhere. I think because we have been irresponsible, and I'm not going to get political, but I'm going to say we've been irresponsible on the border, and we allowed a lot of people to come in, and we already know there are 1,000 or more terrorists in our country. they probably heard some chatter that there's going to be an attack and something, and they are getting frenzied and crazy looking for this material. Now, they can't admit to this. What are they going to say? Oh, we let these people in, but now we're looking for them? They'll never admit to that. So that's why I think this is why it's hush-hush. They're pretending they don't know, but they're looking like crazy to try to find this before something terrible happens in New Jersey. And I pray to God nothing does, because we have friends, family.
That's all our families
back there. There's a lot of good people there that we know, and then there's a lot of good people there. You were saying something too. Well, what do you want to add anything to that we just talked about?
Well, this video this guy talking is a mayor of a township in New Jersey, and I don't know if you're going to play how much of the video, but he does talk about material being missing, and he does talk about getting alerts saying that the shit might hit the fan, basically.
Yeah.
And when the reporter goes, well, who's that from? And he goes, it came from the federal government.
Right.
That's scary.
To me, it's crazy. Like, I'm worried for people over there. But once again, this is what happens. We're irresponsible with how we conduct who comes in and out of this country, and now we want to pretend it's not a problem. And I'm, once again, not to get political, I'm just saying it is what it is. That's all it is. We've got people here that want to do harm to us, and now we have nuclear material missing, and that's a problem for everybody. So, okay. Did you want to talk about anything on this? I think I just wanted to do a quick little thing for everybody to think about this, and just keep your eyes open, man.
Yeah, let's play it. Let's play it, and then we can. Maybe we pretty much talked it up and down already, but let's talk about it, and then we'll add a couple more comments.
That's doing nothing but fueling conspiracy theories online.
Do you have any idea what it could be? Or which side it could be? Where it's coming from?
Yeah, I can tell you what it's not. We know for a fact it's not little green men. And more than likely, it's not a foreign adversary, because they would be able to figure out how to turn off the blinking lights. These drones are huge. We had a mayor yesterday on the call with the White House telling them that he had 6-foot drones hovering over his house. Yet they continue to tell us, we don't know what we're talking about. It's misidentification. Certainly there's some misidentification probably going on, but I could assure you that we are seeing drones in New Jersey all over the place.
All right, so Bethany Frankel, I know she's not like, the New York Times, but she says that she has like some kind of contact at the Pentagon, and that it has something to do with radioactive material in New Jersey. What are you hearing?
So here's what I know. I know that we were told by our state police that we have assets over our critical infrastructure. Now, depending on your point of view, that's either concerning or comforting. I think it's comforting, because it's probably us listening and watching. We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern. In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty. So
okay,
potentially
wait,
we're looking for that.
Stop right there, Mayor, because that's very important information. And that came from a credible source.
That came from the U.S. government.
And so it's missing?
Missing.
And they think it's in New Jersey, or it could be anywhere?
It was lost in New Jersey, in transit. And again, this is just an example of what I think that we're sniffing for. I think we do have the assets that can go up and fly around and sniff things, which is why we're not seeing the uptick we used to see in Belleville anymore. It's kind of moving, but we're seeing alerts that it's happening now in Pennsylvania.
And that's right about the time that the drone sightings began, right?
Yeah, drone sightings began about 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so when you take a look at this, if this information is indeed credible, why wouldn't the government say, it's us?
That's the crazy part about this. We've gotten very little information. Even yesterday on that call with the White House, literally mayors were told, you guys are seeing things. There's no credibility to this. We have one mayor, like I said, had drones over his house. I mean, we're no longer going to stand for not hearing the truth. I mean, our state government is failing us. They're not getting the answers from the federal government. And even though yesterday they told us that there's nothing to see here, today there's a top secret briefing going on in Congress. Well, what are they being told that we weren't told yesterday?
Real quick, did you know yesterday yesterday when you were on that call about this missing radioactive activity or merchandise, or did you know that this morning after the call?
I was made aware of it yesterday morning. I did raise my hand. We weren't allowed to speak. I did raise my hand, was not called on to get that question answered.
So apparently it is concerning. Even the president-elect, who I'm sure gets some kind of briefings on things, he says he's not going to his home in Bedminster, right?
Yeah, I listened to him yesterday. He no doubt gets the same exact briefings that President Biden gets. He says our government knows. He says our president knows. And he also ended with saying, I'm not going to be in New Jersey this weekend.
So what do you want to know? What do you want the government to tell you and the general public?
I want them to be clear with us. I want transparency. I want them to say these are our assets. There's no need to concern about what's flying. The question should no longer be who's flying these drones or who owns them. It should be what they're looking for. Tell us they're ours. Tell us that they're protecting us, and tell us what the threat is.
All right, so there you go. We have a TikTok video talks about certain things, and now we've had this news video that it's that mayor or whatever talking about exactly what we said. What are your thoughts after seeing that again?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on New Jersey being told, be on alert? What are your thoughts on material being missing?
Man, I think I'm not surprised. It's just, of course, it's going to happen. But isn't there been some chatter too? I've heard also recently that something's supposed to happen around Christmas.
On or before Christmas Eve.
That's awful.
And it could be a mixture of things too. It could be ET helping us.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I do not believe the UAPs or alien type vehicles that are being seen around the world make noise, but these things have been said to make noise. Now, the UAPs don't look like winged vehicles or a giant bird, which what you saw did, and it still disappeared, which isn't something that we have technology to do, apparently.
Yeah, and so it was daylight, like I saw.
What in the world? It's like a combination of all these crazy things. And then I told you about the video earlier here that was an orb that turned into a kind of a bird or ship or something, and then it turned back and then disappeared. It's crazy.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Yeah.
And now people are starting to shoot them down in Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, people are. I saw a video on YouTube. Go to YouTube and look it up, man. There's a guy who had the bottle rockets, and he hit it.
Really?
And there's guys out there with guns now. Pom, 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 pom.
Well, you knew that was a matter of time.
Yeah.
New Jersey people are not going to sit there and just hear.
Well, I look at it this way, man. Like, if it's biological, nuclear like that, I pray to God they find it. But if it is ET or whatever, and they're like sitting up in there in their mothership or whatever, saying, and then the radio stations are picking up weird signals.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, and then when these drones go over cars or homes, people's clocks stop. That was another thing.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like American technology.
Yeah. So the other thing, so I was gonna say, if it is aliens, and I don't think it is, they're sitting up in their mothership. You're like, okay, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to New York, or DC, France, Russia, Moscow, wherever. You're like, no, let's go to South Jersey. Let me tell you something. If you are picking up this program up there in your mothership, you picked the wrong place. South Jersey gonna whoop your ass. You don't mess with Jersey, man. Philly and Jersey, forget about it, man.
That's crazy.
You don't want to go to war with Jersey people, man.
They will be shooting everything in the world.
We will. Yeah, you forget about it.
All right. Well, that's all I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody. Well, another message to our listeners. You're probably gonna hit it, but we wish you a Merry Christmas, man.
Yes.
A very Merry Christmas.
This one's going to come out right away, probably Friday. And so, Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe. And, hey, keep your eyes open, man, because maybe if there is something going on the East Coast around Christmas time, please keep your eyes open. Stay safe.
Yeah, and without that, if you see something, please send your video and your pictures to
That's right.
our email.
That's right. Yep.
High Strangeness what?
It's High Strangeness 2024@gmail.com.
Yeah. Please, we want your pictures. We want your videos.
Yeah, we definitely.
And where you saw it.
Yeah, any details you can.
Yeah.
And if you did see
Yeah.
it, we'd love to maybe even talk with you. We'll see.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Okay, everybody. There's a lot
All
of
right.
strange and unexpected out there. Keep your eyes, ears, and minds open. Stay safe. Merry Christmas. Right, Bill?
That's right. Merry
Everybody.
Christmas. I don't need nothing to happen on Christmas Eve. That's my birthday, too. So.
Prayers to everybody. All right.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you for listening to High Strangeness. This was a glance at some of the strange that exists in our reality.